Hi everyone, and we are glad to welcome you on our first session of our DevConnect series. During today's and the further DevConnect sessions, we'll try to establish a tighter cooperation with our Drawings team, as our today's session is dedicated to Drawings SDK. We will provide the key points of the Drawings SDK, we'll provide the recent updates, and after the presentation part, we'll have a live questions and answer session. The team is waiting for your questions and ready to answer as many as possible. So please welcome our Drawings team. The team is online. Okay. And so let us move on further. So now let's move on and a short reminder of what ODB Drawings SDK is. There may be various workflows, extracting data from DWG for different reports, or generating new DWGs using some input data, editing of DWG according to a rule or business scenario, or probably just a full-featured DWG editor. And for all those tasks, for all those scenarios, Drawings SDK seems to be a perfect fit due to its 100% native support of the DWG format. You can read any version of DWG, you can create, edit any data block inside a DWG file. So what else? Simply speaking, Drawings SDK is a tool that covers and may be used for any step of CAD workflow. You can easily integrate into processes and process DWG files created by other CAD vendors, AutoCAD, ZWCAD, BricsCAD, any software with a CAD in the name. You can use your Drawings SDK to create your own 100% compatible DWGs that will be further on used in the workflows based on the software of other vendors. You can enhance or automate different processes that are initially made manually, but you can create some scripts and whatever softwares to automate them, or a full-featured CAD editor, as already was mentioned. So Drawings SDK is a mature product and that has more than 25 years of experience utilizing a large user base, significant feedback, a lot of experience in this area, and it's necessary to pay attention the way how it influences the development team. 50% of the time is dedicated to processing of the member issues, of the questions, comments, or feedback reported by our members. So in this case, I wish to emphasize that member requests are the main source of the new features, so everything is done according to the requests and actual needs. General features. When speaking of general features, let's start with the following, with the text. It's hard to imagine CAD drawing without text. So when it comes to member requests related to ODB text, ODB M text entities are among the leaders. And to enhance our existing text processing capabilities, recently we introduced a two-way conversion between M text entities and RTF strings. So in addition to set contents RTF method, we implemented content RTF method that returns M text object and as an RTF encoded string. The next point, a hedge is another thing that comes to mind when talking about a CAD drawing. So no wonder that various enhancements for working with hedges are often requested by ODA members, and we go on introducing advancements in this area as well. For instance, we simplified hedge creation using boundary command functionality as a base. Just a reminder, the boundary allows to create an entity with a closed loop for multiple entities in a specified area of a drawing. In addition to pure boundary, hedge creation has the possibility of closing contour with gaps, and gap size may be managed by means of the HP gap to TOL system variable. Boundary feature brightly illustrates the tight cooperation between the ODA development team and the ODA users, ODA members. As soon as this feature was released, we got member feedback about using this feature in real-life drawings and real-life products. So again, the feedback comes as an input for further improvements and enhancements. The next item, solving the data processing tasks, ODA members need to perform various conversions and optimizations, and Drawings SDK also provides several conversion and optimization algorithms for their use. For example, conversion of ODB sub D mesh to smooth and optimized ODB 3D solid or ODB surface. The conversion mode to a smooth body merges some neighboring surfaces to one surface, so actually how it works. And these smoothing optimization features are very helpful in case you create your 3D entity from a mesh. It significantly reduces the number of faces in a 3D entity and increases performance for all operations with this entity. So various intersection tasks are also a common thing, and with the possibility to use out-of-the-box intersection features, ODA members have more resources to focus on their user experience, innovations, customer value, and etc. The next items. The possibility to integrate ODA-based solutions in existing customer workflows is also an important advantage. And that is why compatibility with AutoCAD is one of our priorities as well. And when speaking of compatibility with AutoCAD, we can't ignore color books, a way to distribute specific set of colors and their shades across multiple manufacturers, thus following the same color frame. Color books are provided as separate XML text files, so they are easy to distribute with DWG. The open XML format makes it easy to create custom color books. The ODA API allows you to read custom color books and color books supplied by AutoCAD. The next item, just a reminder that format support in Drawings SDK are not limited to DWG only. DXF and DGN are also supported by Drawings SDK, and for those formats we introduce improvements as well. For instance, when talking about DGN, it is also necessary to mention the improvements we have. So for instance, DGN geodata. DGN geodata includes different geographical coordinate systems, projection types, additional transformations, geomarkers, geographical auxiliary coordinate systems, and tools to work with geodata. Geodata allows us to consider the environment our model is placed in, the ability to consider the communication routes, logistics, impact, and other options for further development is based on the geodata. Next big item, constraints solver. One more example of feature transitions, and we've got feature transitions that move from one project to another that originally were created for one project but then were utilized for others is the constraint solver. Originally it was developed as a kernel part of the BeamRV SDK. By the way, on March 20th we'll have a DevConnect session dedicated to this SDK. So please join and visit it. So let's get back. Originally it was created as the kernel part of the BeamRV SDK, but now ODE uses it in other products, including Drawings SDK. Content creation is not the only way that entities may interact with each other. So, another complex area of entity relationships is covered by the constraints topic. Constraint support was first released at the end of 2022 as a beta version. This year brought us valuable and positive feedback from our member community. Based on the feedback, we introduced improvements that may be divided into three main groups: enhancements to constraints capabilities, improvements to constraints quality, and improvements to in constraints behavior to work more similar to AutoCAD. As a result of these efforts, end users have the API to create all types of constraints with the given entities, to list and delete constraints, and to convert dimensions to dimensional constraints. ODE team tries not only to deliver and improve various capabilities, but also keeps in mind the possibilities to speed up the development of your applications, of the applications of our members. And if you design a UI-based application and require constraints support, you can facilitate and speed up your development using pre-created commands for constraints creation and parameter manager for dimensional constraints. If you're interested in this topic, and most likely should be the ones interested as an essential one, you can evaluate all the constraints capabilities using our ODE Drawings Explorer. For example, just use this QR code to follow the link and download it. If speaking a little bit deeper about the constraints, so it's possible to divide them into two main groups, two large groups: geometrical constraints, and we provide support for the following types of the geometrical constraints in Drawings SDK. And the next item is dimensional constraints. So this is the list of the dimensional constraints supported. Next, curve types. Curves may be used as an input for constraints creation, and you can see which ones may be obtained by Drawings SDK as an input for constraints creation: linear objects, circles and arcs, ellipses and arcs, and segments or polyline. And for non-curve types, we should mention points and text objects. Constraints can be applied to an entity into a block or using ODB block reference class. In this case, all nested entities are placed at a rigid set and constraints applied to this rigid set. In future, we are going to improve performance of all aspects of ODE solid modeler. Also, there is a plan to implement auto-constraining functionality for drawings. As for future directions, we can add support of dynamic blocks constraints, and use of constraints in DGN format support. The next large block, ODE Solid Modular. ODE Solid Modular was also started as a kernel part of BMAV product, but now ODE uses it in other products, including Drawings. B-reps created by ODE Solid Modular can be saved to a file in text and binary forms. This feature is used in ODE product to store B-rep based entities inside VSFX files. The following features related to Drawings product were added this year. For example, this year we extended ODE Solid Modular with an algorithm to generate network surfaces. Network surfaces in some cases may be absolutely flat or consist of several flat sub-elements, but there is no reason to introduce separate 2D and 3D network surfaces. We just have network surface native support for the ODB surface class. With the ODB surface create network surface method, it is possible to construct a surface by two sets of curves, U curves and V curves. Just for your information, so probably for some of you this presentation contains new information or information you are not familiar with, or on the contrary, information that you wish to learn more about. Just write your questions in comments on this during this session, and during the live QA session we will answer as many questions as possible. So we'll try, of course, to answer all the questions. So just write the comments, you see the possibility to do it, and we hope to get as many as possible, and the team is waiting. So we'll be glad to. Hope you won't hesitate this possibility. Next, Solid Modular and Extrude and Revolve functionalities. The idea in general is, I think, clear. A simple 2D entity may be used for creation of solid and sheet bodies from curves origins. The results may be used to construct complex bodies. Extrusion and revolution functionalities allow us to create bodies from curves and regions. Enhancing those functionalities was the main focus of ODE model geometry in 2023. We have been working on providing comprehensive support for these operations through the following key functions: extrude and revolve, create extruded or revolved solids surfaces, and these functions serve as fundamental building blocks for modeling. One significant improvement we have made is the addition of support for taper angle in the extrusion functionality. Currently, there are few limitations. It doesn't support a profile with a spline curve, and it doesn't support creation of an extruded surface from polyline that intersects line between the polyline's endpoints. The unsupported cases will be implemented soon, and two more interesting improvements. The first one, now solid bodies may be created by means of revolution from open curves, and in such cases the endpoints of the curve are extended towards the rotation axis and then closed. And in addition, we have incorporated support for revolution axes that lie outside of the profile plane. Next item, slice functionality is one more feature worth mentioning, and because using extrude, revolve and slice, you can model a wide range of real-life elements, including pipes, tanks, fitting connections, basements, and more. Next item, ODB Curve offset. ODB Curve now supports offsetting functionality using the method getOffsetCurves. It creates new ODB curve with which lies within offset distance from the original curve. Method getOffsetCurves given plain normal allows choosing the offset direction. Offset feature is also available at kernel level as part of the geometry library, so it is available for all ODE products. And now we'll have a short video illustrating this capability. As you see, there are initial elements, and using the terminal and the pre-created commands, we are able, in our ODE Drawings Explorer example, to create offset curves. And as you remember, the QR code was provided before, so you can also this. Okay, there is one more popular feature in Drawings product related to ODB submesh and 3D modeling operations. ODB submesh can be created from STL file by STLin command, or by conversion from 3D entities by ODB getObjectMesh to get tessellation and convert to mesh. Submesh can be converted to ODB 3D solid by convert to solid method and boolean union abstract subtract intersect with some other ODB 3D solid. New ODB 3D solid can be converted back to submesh. Now we'll also have a short demo video that illustrates the mentioned capabilities. As you see, first one figure, and then we'll start using the mentioned capabilities using pre-created commands. Our goal here is to combine these two figures and to get a new merged figure containing of two parts of the original ones. We'll save the result we get. And we're able to open the resulting file. So that's what we get. Okay, let's move on further. Of course, as you see, there are a lot of ODE solid modeler features that are already implemented, but in future we are going to extend the list of supported features. And ODE is going to start implementation of sweep feature, offsetting of 3D entities, and fillet edge functionality. This sweep functionality is creation of 3D solid via ODE result ODB 3D Solid Extrude along path method. The function requires two new features from BREP modeler: support tape angle in sweep and support creation of body with self-intersection. The fillet edge functionality allows to modify ODB 3D Solid by making connection of two or more faces smooth. For this purpose, added a new round face which normal is equal to an adjustment face. The list of supported modeling operations becomes longer each year, and we can start planning the implementation of creation of feature solids in DGN product. Next item: precise hidden line remover and solid modeler. In the last few years, ODE developed precise hidden line removing algorithm, and in cooperation with ODE Solid Modeler, the following new features were supported. The first one: flattened views. Flattened views combine tools to construct projections and sections. The core of the functionality is the ODB section HLR helper class. It works with 3D solids, 3D surfaces, regions, sub-D meshes, and bodies, and allows us to select a section or a projection plane, set elements to construct a section or projection, create elements of a section or projection, and get visible edges, invisible edges, and section area. The extended version of the tool is implemented as the ODB Flatten Views helper class, and additionally allows us to set color, line type, line weight, transparency, and layer settings for visible edges, and invisible edges, and hedge settings for section areas. The extended tool has a method to copy the result of projection or section creation to the selected block. ODB Flatten Views helper is a part of API to support DWG format, so it cannot be used out of the ODB API. But in future, we are going to separate precise hidden line remover to a new model independent from ODB and provide our own PHLR API. In that case, precise hidden line remover also can be used. It will be possible to use it out of the ODB scope. And as an example, detail callouts and detail views, the feature similar to flatten views in DGN, it will be possible to support it also. Next item: model documentation. Model documentation allows the creation of smart drawing views. These views are designed to automatically update whenever changes are made to the underlying 3D model. Ongoing work increases the number of supported view types, including base view, projected view, section view, detail view, and view edit commands. Our primary focus this year was on two key aspects. First, we dedicated significant efforts to refining and improving our existing functionality. Secondly, we placed considerable time on AutoCAD compatibility, aligning with our company mission of seamless interoperability. The key achievement in this regard is the implementation of section view support. Now, section views created by ODE-backed software may be opened and processed in AutoCAD without any issues. The tasks requires us to develop and incorporate inventor support within Drawings SDK. AutoCAD-compatible version of ModelDoc is not finished yet, but ODE released a beta of AutoCAD non-compatible version of ModelDoc. Beta version works with already implemented features of ModelDoc. It is possible to create new views of all types: base, section, projection, and details. Views can be linked with each other. Editing is supported. saving and loading to DWG DXF formats are possible. Beta version is read compatible with AutoCAD Model Doc. It is possible to load the file with AutoCAD Model Doc inside, convert Model Doc entities to ODE Model Doc by ODB CONB command, and modify or edit ODE Model Doc and save to the file. ODE Model Doc will be unknown for AutoCAD, and in this file loaded to, if this file is loaded to AutoCAD. Now let us have a look at a short demo that illustrates ODE Model Doc capabilities and read compatibility with AutoCAD. So as you see, the initial step in AutoCAD. Next, we go back again to our ODE Drawings Explorer. We're able to open it. Now we start launching our pre-created commons to work with it. As you see, we can catch up with the initial state and go on extending. We're able to append detail view or a section view, for example. As I've said, you can evaluate similar capabilities too. You need to download ODE Drawings Explorer and again, once more, I remind, if you have any questions, please ask them in the comments to this session. Our team is online, and while the presentation part is moving on, we'll prepare answers which will be announced during the questions and answers session. We also engage you to join and to sign for individual meetings. Probably there are some questions you don't wish to ask in public, so please use this possibility to set up individual meeting with our development team. As you see, different editing capabilities are available. Okay, let's move on further and drawings in web, the option we also need to mention, because in ODE we understand that web and cloud development are also important areas, and we understand you, our existing and potential members, would like to leverage the advantages of our Drawings SDK in web. And for this purpose, it's possible, of course, to create something on the backend to have a virtual machine, but of course native web support would be a much better option for this. And most likely you know that we already have the experience with our visualize capabilities that were migrated to web. And right now we are in progress of preparing drawings in web. In web is a special term meaning the results of migration of our capabilities to web. And the SDK will allow you to leverage all the capabilities of drawings in web, and by and by we are migrating our drawings capabilities, and the primary focus is on the following areas. So first of all, model space and layouts visualization. Next, obtaining information on any objects from the database, including the X data. And what's probably more interesting and important, editing existing objects, creation of new objects in a DWG file, and saving the file using the latest version format. So in other words, what we try to bring to web is the possibility to process and edit DWG files purely in web. So that's it with the presentation part for today. Again, I wish to mention that the next session will be on March 20th, and it will be dedicated to our Beam AV SDK. So we think it's also a useful topic, and please register for the upcoming session of March 20. And now we switch to the questions and answers session, and the team will join us. So, okay, what question shall we start with?
Hi, everyone. So we have some questions from ODA members. So my name is Alexander. I'm a responsible person for Drawings product, and our developers will provide answers for your questions. So I will answer a question about web UI. Currently, we have no any examples related which are using web UI. ODA examples are using console. We have console examples. Also, we have some examples based on MFC and Qt library, user interfaces based on MFC and Qt libraries. Web UI, we don't have such examples at this moment. One more question about our model split and PHLR features already available in .NET SDK. The answer is the following. PHLR feature is not available in .NET SDK. because public API of precise hidden line remover is not available in ODB SDK. It is internal functionality, and we are using it in model documentation feature and so on. Regarding model split, yes, this feature is available in .NET. For example, you can call ODB 3D Solid get split method to divide one model by two parts, for example. I think that the next person will be Vladimir Kalinin. Vladimir, could you please continue?
About support. Support of ActiveX interface is now different to support of any version in general. So these old versions like for free are of course not supported, but if there are bugs found in the old version, we will fix them just the same if they are still present in the new versions. But the fix will be available only in the new version. There are long-term support versions so that critical fixes may be merged into long-term support version, but they are still not as old as for free. You may find the list of the long-term support versions on our site. And one more note about ActiveX. The only difference between ActiveX and other SDK is that its support is limited to the bug fixes only. It's feature frozen and bug fixes only.
So,
who's next?
Who's next? Does the SDK create trusted DWG? In fact, we can't create trusted DWG files because it is prohibited by Autodesk itself. We can't create DWG file with which are signed by special string and so on. DWG files created by ODB SDK is 100% correct and compatible with AutoCAD, but there is problems at legal side here.
Not like it's prohibited. It would be illegal because it's counterfeiting of a signature.
It's just a legal issue. A few years ago, we were able to save, let's call it trusted DWG files, but we had legal issues with AutoCAD for a few years, and as a result, we were prohibited to use copyrighted text string, which is part of digital signature of trusted DWG. If you want more details, you can just search Google for trusted DWG, and it's described at Wikipedia, the issue. The problem is not technical, but legal, because it was considered illegal to use copyrighted string right in our files. But in AutoCAD, you can turn off warning, both dialog box and warning in command string using DWG check variable.
Okay, Sergey, could you please enable the camera, and could you please answer about OLE at Linux?
Okay. I think that everyone understand that it's impossible to have full Ali support on non-Windows platforms, and even on computer which does not contain, which has no installed application like Word, Excel, and so on. So in general, the only thing which can be done on non-Windows platforms is displaying preview of Ali entity. And preview of Ali entity can be of two kinds, bitmap or WMF or EMF format. The last two formats also can have bitmap inside, but they also can have vector information. Currently, our module OLI SS item handler is able to display bitmap preview on non-Windows platforms. And we're working to support DW, MF and EMF previews as well to display them on non-Windows platforms. So support on non-Windows platforms is surely limited, but we're going to enhance it.
So the next question was about .NET support in general. Here we have support of .NET. ODA has two versions of .NET, .NET Classic and .NET Swig based. And as I remember, .NET Swig based already has support of Linux and Macintosh. So yes, we have. The next question is about hedge. Is there a fill property for entities like rectangles and circles over when hedge?
The obvious answer is no.
Yes, I see. I think that no. The next question is about can we run drawing and kernel SDK inside a Windows container? Are there any example Docker images? Here I would like to ask this question at ODA forum because here we have drawings team, and this is question more for cloud team. So if you need this the answer to this question, please ask this question at forum, and we will ask cloud team to answer it. But in fact, I think that yes, it is possible. But details should be discussed with cloud team. Are there any examples about solid modular flattened views? First of all, there was a conference, ODA conference, and it is available on YouTube channel, so you can review a video, and we have added some sample video about flattened views support in this conference. The second moment that we have special commands like special helper class to work with Flatten Views, and also provided some sample commands to work with Flatten Views. So yes, examples are available. Vladimir, could you please answer about ActiveX question?
I don't know what to say. What else to say about that? It depends on what does the person mean about support. For a version to be supported, please use the latest version. Latest version is always supported.
And a new question about OLED support when we're printing OLED to PDF. Here the situation is the same, absolutely the same like during visualization, because PDF export is working via visualization. We supports only OLED with raster image inside. So if, for example, OLED has VMF or EMF inside, you should wait next release and compile a special library at your site to support such OLEDs.
On Windows, we have native Windows support for OLED objects. So on Windows, it's possible to visualize and print not only information from preview, but the native contents of OLED data itself. But it's only on Windows.
Yes. And as the member already said, we have few topics on the forum about this problem, so it is possible to review such topics and ask more questions if you have some questions after reviewing of these topics. So if someone has additional questions, please ask in the chat. Yes, OLED is quite popular feature. Non-Windows support of OLED is quite popular feature. We have a few requests which were posted at forum during last month probably. And it was at this moment, developers are working to support some additional cases at non-Windows platforms.
But the only thing we can do on non-Windows platforms is to display information from preview. Because in case of native application is absent, we nothing display or print anything but preview. And it also true for Windows also if native application is not installed on the computer you are working on. For example, if you have only item reference in microstation DGN file and you have no installed microstation, then nothing except preview can be displayed or printed. So this is not a problem only for non-Windows, but for Windows also if required application is not installed. Then only data from preview is available.
Last question was about license membership. We can't answer it because we have no such information. So it is better to ask this question via support request or at forum.
As I remember,
I think I can provide information about this this question. So the question is, what is the minimum license of membership required to open a step, read the entity, and display in a web application? So you see here it consists of two parts. First of all, we say about distribution through web, and this requires sustaining membership if we're talking about a somewhere distribution, commercially related. So you'll need sustaining, and as step is a part of core SDK, that means that you do not need any additional extensions to this membership. So for you, membership, sustaining membership is the required membership level to develop and distribute a web application that's processing the step files. Please let us know if this information is sufficient, and please, any other questions? Do not hesitate to address anything you have doubts about, products, memberships, etc. Meanwhile, we have a little pause. I wish to remind you again that it's only the first session in the series, and the series each of the session will be dedicated to a particular product. Today's is dedicated to drawings. The next one that will take place on March 20th will be dedicated to BeamerV, the standalone support for Autodesk Revit files. So, and do not forget about the possibility to schedule individual meetings and to discuss something face-to-face with our team. Only for develop, not for commercial need a membership. You see, it's better. Probably we can just again. For this question, I think it will be reasonable to schedule an individual meeting, and we'll discuss all the details of your particular situation. So we will analyze which possibilities we have for you, because we are not pushing to something. We leverage the advantage of being a not-for-profit development consortium, and after we discuss and analyze your situation, probably we can find a better option for your development stage. But again, better to set up a meeting. Okay, looks no questions for today. We are glad, we appreciate your time, and we are glad that you joined us today. Hope also in these virtual times you get a possibility to look at our development team, the real people behind all those achievements, facilities, and improvements. So thank you so much, and we'll be waiting for you during our upcoming sessions and, of course, individual meetings. Thank you, everyone,
Thank
and
you.
goodbye. We hope it was useful today for you.